Starting tomorrow, as you've heard, the Supreme Court hears arguments in a pair of cases that could define the issue of same-sex marriage in America, reshaping the political landscape in the process. It's the subject of today's deep dive and shows how difficult it can be for lawmakers trying to square their principles with their politics. More and more Democrats are coming out publicly in favor of same-sex marriage. Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill was the latest, a Democrat from Missouri, tweeting her support on Sunday. Hillary Clinton fueled speculation about a 2016 bid when she made this announcement a week ago.
LGBT Americans are our colleagues, our teachers, our soldiers, our friends, our loved ones. I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law.
It's trickier for Republicans. They're caught between the desire to broaden their party's tent and not upsetting the conservative base. Some are still refusing to budge.
Just because I believe that states should have the right to define marriage in a traditional way does not make me a bigot.
Listen, I believe that marriage is the union of one man and one woman. And I can't imagine that position would ever change.
Ohio Republican Senator Rob Portman changed his position completely after his son came out. But other Republicans are refusing to say yes or no on gay marriage. They're caught somewhere in between.
I know what our are, and I know our party believes that marriage is between one man and one woman, but I also know that we have a party that's going to be inclusive.
Way too many people believe Republicans are anti-immigrant, anti-woman, anti-science, anti-gay, anti-worker, and the list goes on and on and on.
Joel Benenson was a pollster for the Obama campaign. He's president and founding partner of the Benenson Strategy Group. And Alex Lundry is a Republican pollster who worked with Mitt Romney's campaign. He's vice president of Target Point Consulting. Let me first say it is a treat to have you both here for me. I'm thrilled.
Great to be here.
That's good. It's a fascinating topic. Let me start by showing some NBC Wall Street Journal numbers, just to sort of broadly talk about the trend. So in 2004, the question was asked, do you favor or oppose same-sex marriage? 30% favor, 62% oppose. Today, 8.5 years later, 51% favor, 40% oppose. Alex, let me start with you. The trend seems quite clear. Am I missing something? I want to make sure that we're painting the whole picture.
No, you're not missing anything. I mean, it's a pretty spectacular time to be a student of public opinion because we're in the midst of one of the most profound public opinion shifts, I think, in modern political history right now. Everything is moving up.
And what do you do, Joel? I mean, look, I know you and I have had many conversations about the data and what's good and what's bad, but I would say that broadly what it looks like here is all the polling suggests things moving in a certain direction. What explains when something moves like this? I mean, I feel like some of these, we've had the abortion. It's kind of like there's this many people who say they're for it and there's many people who oppose it. Never, ever changes. This, to Alex's point, we're talking about monumental shift in 8 years.
Well, there's a lot going on. First of all, we did an extensive analysis of the exit polls. We had a sample of 5,000 interviews. And what we really found is opposition to gay marriage and same-sex marriage is becoming increasingly isolated in pockets of the electorate. So, for example, people over the age of 65 remain opposed to same-sex marriage by very large numbers. Everybody else under 65 supports it by 52.
Broadly generational.
52 to 44. There's a generational shift, and that gets even more dramatic when you look at younger voters or break the electorate down by religion. For example, white evangelicals form a strong part of the Republican Party base. They are overwhelmingly opposed, but everybody else who's not a white evangelical Christian by 20-plus points support freedom to marry.
And I want to go through some of these numbers that show the shift, because some of them are in places we might think independents and stuff, but a lot of them are not, in fact. So look, this is ABC Washington Post polling. 04, 15% of Republicans, self-identified Republicans, support gay marriage. Now 33%. That's more than double. I'm no math major, but I think that's right. Catholics, 40% in 04, 59% now. Conservatives, 10% in 04, 33. I mean, it's 3 times as much. And minorities, 28. This is remarkable, and I think, honestly, Barack Obama deserves a significant amount of credit for being an African-American president of the United States supporting same-sex marriage now. 28% in 2004, 61% now. Alex, these changes, they're not just, it's not Democrats getting more in favor of it. Here's the fundamental question. What does your party do? This is what we've been talking about. You have some people saying, John Huntsman, Rob Portman, and saying, look, let's just get this out of, we support gay marriage. But then you have Ralph Reed and others saying, well, this is a fundamental principle for our party. What do you do?
Yeah, I think there's some real soul-searching in the party right now. But to Joel's point earlier, this is very much a generational divide. If you look at evangelical millennials, actually according to that Washington Post ABC poll, 64% of evangelical millennials support same-sex marriage.
And millennials
are those born between the years of 1980 and 2000. And in fact, if you look at Republican millennials in another poll, they're at 58% support for same-sex marriage. America is changing.
The number I'm always struck by, Washington Post ABC poll, 18 to 49, self-identified Republicans, 53% support.
That's right. It's remarkable. It's remarkable. It is a generational shift.
Joel, I want to ask, going forward in the Democratic Party, Hillary Clinton last week, she had been one of the last, I don't want to say holdouts, but one of the last very high-profile people to switch. President Obama had made clear civil unions to gay marriage. She has switched. Is this a position you must have to be a serious contender going forward in Democratic Party politics? You must support gay marriage.
I think this is a position that anybody running for public office is going to have.
Republicans included.
Absolutely. Look, the country has changed. This is a position in every demographic group. The numbers you just cited, their views have changed on this over the last 10 years. They've changed dramatically over the last 2 years. This is where America is. I think what Jeb Bush, the clip you showed of Jeb Bush, shows what the dramatic problem is for the Republican Party. They can't be a party of intolerance when it comes to gay marriage, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to whether you believe in climate change or not.
Well, let me ask you both this quickly. My theory in some ways on this is that it's sort of like gun control was in the 90s for Democrats, which is there are plenty of people in the base of the Democratic Party who still believe gun control, but the leaders of the party did not talk aggressively about it. So there's going to be a part of the Republican base. In this December NBC Wall Street Journal poll, 27% of Republicans broadly favor it. So I don't want to oversell it. 27% favor same-sex marriage. There's going to be a part of your party, Alex, right, that does not want to change principles. Should your leadership, people running for president, should they, A, say, look, I support same-sex marriage. Fact, you can disagree with me. Or should they just not talk as much about it?
Well, I think, I personally would love to see them embrace same-sex marriage. I think that they should. But look, this is ultimately, a big debate in the party that we're having right now. And I don't think it's a matter of changing principles. I think it's a matter of reevaluating how support for same-sex marriage fits into conservative principles. And I think if you believe in freedom, if you believe that the government shouldn't be involved in personal lives, which most Republicans, and conservatives do, then I don't see how it's contradictory to be a conservative and believe in same-sex marriage.
Will Democrats let a Republican presidential nominee in 2020 fudge this issue? Should they?
I don't think Democrats will let them fudge it, and I don't think the voters will let them fudge it.
Joel Benenson, Alex Lundry.